I want to go to Detroit, talk to Reverend Wendell Anthony. He is the president of the Detroit NAACP. Pastor Anthony, good to see you. First and foremost, what do you make of Donald Trump coming to the Motor City to have this conversation with an African-American church?
Good morning, Rowland. Good to be with you. First of all, the doors of the church are always open, even to those who have certain hidden interests. This is tantamount to a wolf coming to a sheep farm saying, let me lead you to greener pastures. The Bible is very clear about that in terms of by their fruit you shall know them. This is the same Donald Trump who has not come to the NAACP National Convention, the Urban League Convention, the National Action Network Convention. This is the same Donald Trump that has given President Obama the Bertha title since he was in office. This is the same Donald Trump that has never, to my knowledge, been to an HBCU for a presentation, who has never joint ventured, to my knowledge, with African-American business people and entrepreneurs. He brags about the towers that he builds. How many African-American construction leaders have you had? How many folk have you joint ventured with? Let's look at your procurement plan. Let's talk about development in the inner city. He is cherry picking, Rowland. He is cherry picking individuals by which he can use them as a bridge by which to go and to come to us. This is a strategy. This is not new. This is a part of what was called back in the day the Southern strategy, in which Richard Milhouse Nixon, as you recall, used a strategy to talk about blacks, to talk around them, but not to talk to them, inferring that somehow they needed law and order, that we needed states' rights. And it was a policy that was used to divide the Southern Democrats from voting for the Democratic Party, and it has sustained itself even to today. If Donald Trump is really concerned about the African-American community, where is he on the extension and the retooling of the Voting Rights Act? How come he's never spoken about that?
Got a question for Reverend Anthony. First of all,
Rowland, how come he's not interviewing with you, a real journalist? How come he's not interviewing with Tamron Hall or Joy Reid, journalists who can probe, who can ask the questions? Did he, in fact, set up a mechanism by which certain questions could be asked? Did he say we can't go over this yard in terms of asking certain questions? I would beg to find out if, in fact, this is a legitimate kind of an interview, or is this just an skewing the issues as it relates to our community.
Do you know Bishop Wayne T. Jackson of Great Faith Ministries in Detroit?
I do. He's a good friend of mine.
And that's who he's going to be talking to on Saturday. He's going to be doing so on Pastor Mark Burns' Impact Network.
I heard he's trying to make an impact. I'm not mad at the brother, Rowland. I mean, he is in the news business, and I'm not mad at him. Go ahead and do what you want to do. However, do not allow this guy to use us as a leverage to be able to engage the African-American community. He is not speaking to our interests. He is not interested in us. He's interested in our vote. Here's a guy talking about, if y'all elect me, I'm going to get 95% of the black vote in my second term. Well, that means that you're going to do better than President Obama relative to the black vote in your second term, in terms of coming from 1% or less than to 95%. By their fruits you shall know them. This is the same Donald Trump that said he didn't want black folk counting his money, that the only folk he wanted counting his money were little short guys with yarmulkes on. We know what that means. He does not have a record, Rowland, of dealing with, of addressing, of being sensitive to the interests of black and brown people. Let him come to Linwood and Davidson. Let him come to Mack and Bewick. Let him come to Joy Road and to Greenfield. Come into the heart of the community. Don't cherry pick a congregation, and don't cherry pick a minister to use your misinformation and your misconstrued representation as if you were really concerned about us. You ain't been concerned about us to this point. What in the world makes you think that we believe you're going to be concerned about us going towards the future? It is not the other candidate that said, get them out of here, punch them in the face. If they were back in the day when I was coming up, we know how to treat these people. And he's pointing to African Americans who, in fact, he's pointing to a guy saying, there's my African. How insulting that is. What does it take for us to recognize that this guy is not for us? He's for our vote. If you look at his record is very clear. If you don't know me by now, then you will never, ever, never know me. Well, we know you by now, Mr. Trump, and we say that you are running a scam, and this is the biggest joke. This is the biggest scam since P.T. Barnum was running his circus and saying there's a sucker born every moment, starring
Reverend
Donald Trump as the ringmaster.
Reverend Anthony, do you plan on showing up Saturday and others?
I don't think so, Rowland. I'm going to be visiting my family, having a good time, and I'm not changing my plans to be entertained by Donald Trump. If I want to be entertained by Donald Trump, I can turn on News One and watch you run some radio or some TV clips from some of the nonsense that he's been saying from one end of the country to the other.
All right, Reverend Wendell Anthony, head of the Detroit NAACP. We appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Folks, we're having some satellite issues trying to reach Pastor Mark Burns. Do we have him, folks, on the phone? Okay, so folks, we don't have on the phone yet. Let me quickly, I want to go to, before I go to another guest, I want to try to come back to Pastor Mark Burns. Let me go to Faraji Muhammad out of Baltimore, Amber Phillips. As well, my panelists today, co-director of Black. Folks, again, what do you make of the Trump gathering on Saturday? First of all, I'm trying to understand, why would you have this on Labor Day weekend,
right,
as if anybody would be paying attention?
It's a very black holiday, Labor Day weekend.
Right,
you know?
right. I mean, actually, what I'm saying, but white folks not paying attention. Hispanics, I mean, it's Labor Day weekend.
Right.
I'm going to be at the Texas A&M UCLA football game, so I'm just letting you know right now.
As you should be. I think what the point that is being made time and time again is that Donald Trump does not have our interests at heart. We are actually not invested in what he has to say. I'm still very disappointed that black pastors are making room and space and giving a platform to this person who literally not only doesn't have the best interests of your congregation at heart, but if he is elected, will actually harm you. So I think it's absurd, it's laughable, and we all should do something else this weekend with our free time.
It's beyond laughable, and I totally agree. I think that, you know, unfortunately, Brother Rowland, black pastors have been used by so many different folks within the political arena that it's hard for us to take this whole situation seriously. And I'm wondering, like, what are folks expecting to get from Donald Trump at this point? I mean, are we really expecting for there to be some change? And in Donald Trump's record, and all of the time that he has spoke, and you spoke about it as well, dealing with real serious issues of policing, dealing with issues of discrimination, housing. Looking at his record, he is not good there.
You know?
He is not good when it comes to black people.
And everyone acts like they have to sit down and have this new conversation with Donald Trump, when the fact of the matter is we know exactly who he is.
That's what I don't understand. He is the person
who requested the birth certificate of our first black president. He is the person who has literally placed ads against our best interests. Like, I don't understand what more is needed to be said. I get that he needs to do outreach in communities of color, but why? I would love to hear pastors like what we just heard from really stand up and speak out against this and say that it's
obnoxious
absurd.
Pandering of black people. And when you saw what Trump said about D. Wade's cousin being killed in Chicago, when he
couldn't
tweeted
even spell his name right.
It was absolutely insulting for him to take a situation about senseless murder and then to get it back to, I'll make black people safe. What the hell, man?
Folks, hold tight 1 second. In a moment, we're going to try to get Pastor Mark Burns, who is one of Trump's supporters, on the phone. We have some issues with the satellite, but I do want to quickly go to another story. We'll come back to this here. Just give me a second. Folks, today in Florida, there's a U.S. Senate race a lot of folks are watching.